5 tips to building a strong choir. These 5 tips are proven and can really help you build your choir, no matter how small, no matter how big. It applies to all. The first tip will cause a surprise to you, and that is love. One of the greatest things to build your choir is love. If there is love in the choir, every other thing I want to say will fall in place. But if there is no love in the choir, everything else that comes after love will not fall in place, because there will be so much pushback on those things. So as long as there is love in that choir, every other thing will work. The choir master must initiate love, loving everybody equally. Even when you have certain preferences in the choir, you are not supposed to let anybody know. Show it before anybody. Don't make it seem noticeable that certain people are your preference and other people are not. By the time the choir master is able to show that kind of love to the choir will reciprocate that love to the choir master and to everybody else in the choir. Yes, of course, there are some few bad eggs, those who don't like to be loved or who don't show love. When there are more people that walk in love than those who don't walk in love are forced to pretend that they walk in love, and by so doing begin to learn it or begin to adapt to it. So love is an important element in the choir to help the choir become stronger and better. Number 2, discipline. Now you must initiate discipline in the choir, and discipline is not for certain people, it's for everybody. So that means if you have a good vocalist who has the best voice in the choir, she is the most beautiful singer in the world, and she is in your choir or is in your choir, and then he breaks the law. What you will do to the person who cannot sing in the choir when he breaks the law, you must do it to the person who sings the best. Now let me put it in perspective. If I am in your choir and I am such a good singer, and then in your choir there is a law that says nobody should come to choir practice late. Somebody who is not as good as I am comes late, and then you discipline that person for coming late. But because I am a good singer, I can sing so well, I come late, and you waive it because you know I'm a very good singer. You've already destroyed the value of that law. That means because everybody is watching you to know how you dish out your judgment as a choir master or as a choir leader. So by the time you have a person who can sing, misbehave, discipline that person exactly the way you would discipline others. What is good for the geese is also good for the gander. So make sure if you are dishing out discipline in your choir, you dish it to everybody. But discipline is very, 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 very important. Number 3, rehearsals. Many choirs only rehearse once in a week. That's bad. Your choir will not grow, and when your choir does not grow, some people start leaving the choir because they feel, I can't be in this choir. I have left several choir because they don't grow. I didn't grow in the choir, so I left. I noticed that my voice was not improving. Instead, I was losing my voice. There was no challenge in the choir, so I left. So if there's no rehearsals that are targeted towards developing the better voice, scoring songs, choristers will leave. So rehearsals are very, 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 very important. So make sure you have at least 2 rehearsals a week. And if you don't have rehearsals 2 times a week physically, you can have one online and one offline to keep your choir in check. Number 4, prayer. You see, normally a choir that prays together stays together. Do not leave your group to chance and say, well, yeah, the choir will grow, let's keep doing what we are doing. No, make sure that your choir prays. All of you pray together. Set out time for choir prayer. We are having prayer workshop for the next 1 week. We are having prayers for the next 2 days. Always initiate prayer for the choir. Have prayer retreats where you can sit down and pray about individual problems of choristers and also general problems of choristers. Why? Because every chorister is going through something that you do not know. So coming together to pray can help the choir to bond and become better choristers. The final one is organize workshops. Workshops are so important. Workshops are targeted towards developing people's skills. So that means occasionally invite people to come and speak to your choir. For example, I had been in a choir where Nathaniel Bassey was invited to speak to the choir. And you could see how much everybody benefited from his message, from the things he said. Organize workshops and invite a coach, invite a voice trainer, invite a pastor or somebody to come and speak to your choir, to give them direction, to give them to simplify their problems, to make their problems look easy to solve in their singing, because you don't know everything as a choir master, as a choir leader, as a pastor. Nobody knows what you do not know. So inviting somebody to speak into your choir or speak to your choir will help your choir to grow better, and also will make your choir believe that you care about their growth. Because many people leave the choir because they are not growing, and because they don't see a future for themselves. Many choristers in the choir want to become singers tomorrow, want to become artists tomorrow. So if they don't have a means of training themselves in your choir, why would they stay? So get this to see how your choir will grow. Now, all these tips are just to help you. Best choir you can think about. So apply them and see how your choir transforms.